Hello, my loyal companions. Welcome back to episode 3 of RogueCast, the dedicated Rogue Company podcast, and your one-stop shop for all your weekly news, exclusive interviews, and clips of the week. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you the latest news and updates, including the 2 hotfixes that dropped this week. I'm going to be giving you an exclusive interview with the co-founder of Maru Gaming, the guys who host the Rogue Bowl tournament, the biggest community-run tournament in Rogue Company at the moment. And then obviously we'll be showing you the clips of the week at the end of the video. It's going to be a great show today, guys. I am your host, Radar. Let's get into the RogueCast. Going into the news, what we've seen is that there hasn't been a lot of development since last week's big patch, which is what you'd expect. There have been a few bug fixes and hot fixes to address some of the issues, including the removal of the immunity bug, the removal of the bomb being able to be planted inside the wall bug, and a few other little things that were becoming quite a problem for players. They addressed the issue with extraction, so now that should be back in permanent rotation, as well as Icarus is now playable again, which I love. It was one of my favourite maps, so I'm glad it is here. The store got its first refresh this week, giving you a few more cosmetic options to choose from. I personally like the Demon and the Anvil skin, and some of the emotes are pretty cool. I see a lot of people running the Shredding Air one, which is awesome. Combine that and the saxophone, and you can get quite a nice little band going. Let's see if they add more. Maybe we'll get a whole thing going. The biggest news to come out of this week, though, is actually the fact that they've confirmed we're now moving into Phase 2. Now, a lot of people say we haven't dealt with the player banners and player identity. What they said is that they've decided to put that on hold and delay that to focus on getting us ranked in custom games earlier, which I think is a fantastic change. That is really what's going to make the game thrive and build up hype again for the game. So I'm glad they're doing that. I'm glad that's the direction they've chosen to go. I don't really care too much about the banner and player identity when ranked is going to be so crucial for the player base. Let me know if you agree with that down in the comments, but now we're going to move on to our interview with IWhooped. As I said, he is the co-founder of Maru Gaming, who hosts the Rogue Bowl tournaments, the biggest community tournament in Rogue Company at the moment. It's a fantastic tournament. I've spoken a lot about it on my channel, so you can go check out those videos there. Whooped is also my teammate for competitions and tournaments. He's a really good player, and he's also a content creator on some various platforms, so make sure you go check him out. But now we'll have a little sneak peek before we get into the interview.
Who was that? I whooped you? Oh no.
Hey, who is that? That's I whooped. Keep it hype. Up on YouTube and streaming on Trovo almost every night. Playing Madden, Rogue Company, or Crossfire X. Make sure that you subscribe. Trust, you don't want to miss. And go ahead and give a like. Hey, if you want some good vibes, make sure you subscribe. If you want to have a good time, keep it competitive and entertaining. And so official when it come to gaming. Check out the chat and join the conversation. Ain't no delaying. Tell me why you waiting. Yeah.
Okay then guys, kicking off episode 3 of RogueCast is a good friend of mine. He is my teammate for the tournaments, and he's also the co-founder of Maru Gaming and the Rogue Bowl tournaments that are hosted for Rogue Company. Is with great pleasure I introduce you to IWhooped.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So obviously
it's an honor to be here, sir.
No problem. As always, we do play together pretty much every day. We play about 4 or 5 hours a day, don't we? Sweating out in lobbies, practicing for tournaments. But you also have your own content creation on the side. You stream on Trovo, which for people who don't know is a newer streaming platform offering a lot of good incentives for streamers. But you also have a YouTube channel. Talk to me a little bit about your content creation.
Yeah, so like I said, I stream on Trovo. It's a new platform. I like it because you have access to devs, and also because they have pretty good incentives to stream.
Okay.
It's tier based, and it goes on your hours and average viewers and whatnot. It's a bit of a balance trying to do YouTube and streaming, but I try to get a YouTube video in there about once or twice a week.
Okay.
So it's been going good. It's been a grind.
Yeah, no, I've seen your content. You've put out a really good 15 tips for newer players video, and I think you said you have a really cool video that's dropping tonight, which would already be out.
It is
proving that you are the best grenade thrower at NA, which
Number
is
one grenade thrower at NA.
for those of you who don't know, it is a competition me and Whooped are trying to battle out for who is the better grenade thrower. I keep mocking him that he's not, but I think he's going to prove us all wrong with this video.
I have proof.
Which I think is awesome. How do you find sort of creating content for Rogue Company? Do you think for newer creators and things it is a good platform to start creating content for?
Definitely. In terms of streaming, I found it a little difficult on Trovo just because Trovo, isn't really a big platform. In terms of YouTube videos, I think it's great because you go in many different directions, whether it's kind of educational like you do it, or a lot of gameplay.
Yeah.
And if you're on Twitch, I think Twitch has a lot of, it's a bigger audience.
Yeah,
So I
of
think
course.
there's a platform there to definitely stream on.
Yeah, definitely.
And even on Trovo, I made partner this month,
yeah,
and I did nothing pretty much except stream Rogue
Yeah.
Company. So there's still even an outlet even for small platforms.
yeah, exactly. I think that was phenomenal that you guys made partner on Trovo. That was absolutely awesome. I know you guys worked really hard for that. Put in the hours, got the views, and that was wicked. Where do you actually see Rogue Company going then? What are your thoughts now that we're sort of a month and a half into a beta launch, 2 months into beta launch? Where do you see Rogue Company going from here?
Well, I gotta be honest. When I played in the alpha, I wasn't very impressed.
Uh-huh.
And coming from Realm, I seen how they treated Realm Morale, and I was a little skeptical about how they're going to be with Rogue. And so I understand, critics on Rogue, maybe not living up to the expectations in the beginning, but I would say with the new game, there's going to be bugs, and not every game is perfect. But what I really like from Rogue is the communication they've had,
Uh-huh.
and it's outstanding. The devs are with you every step of the way.
Yeah.
Honestly, they had a couple bugs with their patches. Or they don't care. It's closed beta. They're supposed to have bugs, but they let you know that they have bugs, and they let you know they're working on them. And so I think with that, that's one of the areas that I wanted to see. And the other one is they kind of painted a picture what direction they're going. They're going to get out customs. They're going to get out ranks. Right now, I would say it's in a pretty decent place. But once customs and rank come, it's going to pop, and that is their chance to really grab a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I agree, and I think I would have just said in the news flash before this, but they put out a tweet fairly recently saying that we're now moving into phase 2, and although they didn't tackle the player identity part of phase 1, the banners and things, that they're going to push that back to bring the ranked and custom stuff forward, which I think is phenomenal. I think that's definitely what we need. What kind of things would you like to see from a rank system then? If you would maybe to compare it to another game or something, where do you want this rank system to go? How do you want it to be?
Well, the thing about an obvious comparison would be Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah.
But one thing about Counter-Strike is that it throws in aim. So what you find is a lot of the pros in the Counter-Strike scene aren't even the highest rank in Counter-Strike.
Uh-huh.
And so I definitely want to make sure that if there ever is a pro scene or the top tournament players, that they would be then the top rank. If they play ranked. So maybe a little bit of Counter-Strike, but you got to modify that. I want to see the MMR rating. A game like this is binary in that there's one winner and there's one loser, right?
Yeah.
You have a team, you either win or lose, but it goes a little bit deeper into that because if you frag out but your team loses, I don't feel like you should lose as many points as somebody who maybe like jumped off the map or just didn't care to stop playing.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't envy their position right now on creating this ring system because they do have to nail it. They have to hit a home run.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
I would say they should study other games and kind of mold together a nice system from it. And I heard you say like they're gonna focus on ranked. As long as focusing on ranked means they're gonna get out a good product, I would hate to see them rush ranked and then fail. I don't care if it takes time, as long as they get it right the first time. So I'd like to see it have an MMR rating so you can see where you stand, and I'd also like it to incorporate play as well as wins and losses. Not penalize you so much for losses if you play well.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think there's the end screen when you get to the scoreboard. There's a score sort of rating, don't you? You get like a score, or I think it might even be like the money, or it's some sort of combination or something. And I think that is definitely something they need to take into account because those sort of things matter. Even getting a defuse off is kind of like it is a team thing. Planting the bomb at the right time is
right. Absolutely.
And that sort of stuff should be rewarded. We in our team we play with the Mario Muppeteers. We all have different roles in that team. We have our top fraggers, we have our breachers, we have sort of all-around people who are able to just survey and take things slow, and then you have zone controllers, and people may not always get the most kills.
Grenade throwers.
Exactly, for fantastic grenade throwers. How close did you get to hitting them? That should be a stat for sure, because we know you miss. So those sort of stats should be tracked as well into this rank system, and it would be annoying for you to lose a game and then lose a bunch of MMR when you've actually done really well. I completely agree with that, and I think
there was a ranked game in Smite I played, and I went 17-0 at Shock. It was Joust, and we lost, and it was like, okay, whatever. And then the next game I went, I think 19-1 or something like that. And I actually got deranked. It was my game to get demoted because I lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
I was like, I just went 17-0 and like 19-1, and I'm
Yeah.
getting demoted. Like, this is not a good system.
No, for sure. And I mean,
So I just hope it's not 100% binary.
yeah, and Smite is obviously the MOBA for Hi-Res Studios, the one they released. But I think that system is pretty common in MOBAs, isn't it? It's both purely win-loss, your kills and stuff that matter. But when you get into
Right.
these sort of these shooters, these really tactical modes like that, where it's all about team play, because like Smite and League of Legends and things, there's that 1v1 aspect, right? You go into your lane, you go into your jungle, it's all about your own personal farming, your own personal outplaying of the enemies for a short amount of time. Then you get to the group stages. Essentially, sort of like that's how they break down. With this, it's all group. It's all about what you're doing with your team and how you're coordinating your pushes, and that's why it needs to be into count. So I completely agree. Like, they need to not just focus on wins and losses, because I think that would become really demoralizing for people. Because the best teams will lose games. Even in public matches, you'll get put against people who are just on a really, really good game, or you might not play as well, and you do lose occasionally. And so for it to be just off wins and losses, yeah, I think that's not for me. But so sort of along that lines of ranked is also customs, and now customs are great for people generally, like if they want to just get in some games. So they're particularly good for you because you and Mario Gaming host the Rogue Bowl tournament. So I think it'd be quite good for people to know a little bit obviously about Rogue Bowl. I have videos up on my channel, you have videos on your channel, but let's go a bit deeper into what is Maru, and like what is the sort of foundations and the starting of Maru.
So Darth and I, who's the other co-founder of Maru, and Rogue Bowl, we played a game called Realm Morale. And Realm Morale, when it came out for Xbox, they had launched a tournament. They announced a tournament,
Yeah.
And we were excited. So Darth asked me if I wanted to be his teammate, and I said, sure, let's do this. Well, they actually postponed their tournament. It was kind of like, oh yeah, in a few weeks type of deal. It never came to fruition.
One of those.
And so we joined a community tournament. And that community tournament turned out to be just a shit show. It was not ran correctly. The guy didn't even record the scores. He was in way over his head. He tried, but it didn't turn into anything. And so we're like, you know what? Instead of Realm hosting it or that guy hosting it, why don't we do it ourselves? And so we started what's called the Bach Bowl. In that game, if you get downed, you turn into a chicken. So that's why it's called the Bach Bowl. And so we did that. And as we're doing these Bach Bowls, a lot of people are starting to put together teams, if you will. And so we're like, well, we have access to all the greatest players because, the Bakwa was the competitive scene for console. Yeah. And so we're like, why don't we start our own team? And so there we go. That's how Mario started.
That's where Mario started. And what sort of developed from there? How has Mario progressed from the start of Bok Bowl to now getting into Rogue Company and going to Rogue Bowl? What's the progression you've seen in terms of... Yeah.
Mario started, so at the time when Mario started, we were under the impression that there still might be an esports scene in Realm Morale.
Okay.
Sanguine Esports actually signed 4 players
on
the computer side. And so we were under the impression, hey, maybe there's going to be tournaments or something. Mm-hmm. And so we started a team and we filled it. There's going to be 4 people. And then there's going to be 6 people. Me and Darth, the founders, team of 4. And then that turned into 8 people. And then pretty soon we found out, Realm Morale is just... it's not gonna work. They're not gonna have a competitive scene, and so that 8 people turned into 16, turned into 19. We pivoted really from a competitive esports team we're trying to be to more like a gaming family. So now we play all sorts of games. I'm focused personally on Rogue Company and a new game called Crossfire X when it comes out.
Yes.
But other players, they enjoy the freedom to content create or play whatever game they want, really.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, kind of what... Because obviously I've played you guys since the last Rogue Bowl for a month now. And what I've sort of seen from you is you are, I think, what you call a gaming family, right? And you're all there to support each other and help each other with content and help each other sort of grow your own communities, which I think is awesome. I think there's a lot of teams who, from Rogue Company, have started up who are now trying to go into that esports scene and focus on that. But I like the gaming family style. And I think that's actually a really nice transition that you've made, whether sort of by choice, I guess not because of the Realm esports, but it is a nice transition to get into. And you can always then form these teams to maybe look into
Right,
any
exactly.
position as well. Yeah, like us, we're awesome, right? Mario Muppeteers would be a great esports team.
I mean, maybe not tonight. We weren't very awesome, but
we had a bit of a rough one just before this recording. There was definitely some issues we have to iron out, mostly with my own personal gameplay.
Our official practices have been really good.
The official ones that we like sit down and we record the numbers and stuff have been going really well, so hopefully we can turn up for Rogue Bowl itself and put on a good show for people. Speaking of which,
Absolutely.
Rogue Bowl, September 19th, 1 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. Talk a little bit about
Yes,
that,
sir.
and how that's going, what you see for that, and any sort of details you want to just mention.
So squad based on demolition. It's 3 hours pub stopping, so you just queue up for regular games. You can sign up on mariogaming.com.
Yep.
Really excited for it. It's time based. It's not customs because customs haven't been released yet. So going forward, future Rogue Bowls are going to be custom based. But this one right here is time based. It's really fun. A lot of people say they can't wait for customs. The grass isn't necessarily greener on the other side. Like, it's more competitive in customs, but time based is actually really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure.
And you run into other tournament teams, so it's still going to be competitive.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, when we were playing for the first Rogue Bowl, me and the guys, it was actually my first ever tournament. I would say it was a kind of proper organized tournament by someone else. Like, I've done like very small bits on the side or whatever, but it was my first sort of big tournament that was sort of organized really well with a lot of people, a lot of teams. It was 172 teams, I think, ended up signed up. Are you projecting more numbers this time, do you think? Or similar numbers?
No, actually.
No?
Probably similar. We're kind of holding back on the marketing right now because I applied for like some sort of partnership with Trovo, and Trovo, I gave them, I created like the 16-page PDF. I submitted to Trovo, and they're still looking through it. And I don't know, because they host like events and they want to support streamers, and I honestly I don't think they don't know what to do with us quite yet. So they're taking their time on that. And then we have a potential partnership with like another gaming organization down the pipeline. So we're really like holding back our marketing right now until we get a little bit more clarification on what's going to happen. But in the next couple days, we're really going to like put out a marketing blast. So I expect to get hundreds.
Which is awesome.
Will we hit 800? I don't know, but we'll hit close to it.
Yeah, 800 will be a lot of teams. I would feel bad for your scorekeepers. But I said you guys are used to it, right? With Realm and stuff, you're prepared. I think you're definitely, from my experience in the first one and knowing you guys, you're one of the most organized tournament hosts. You put in the work. You do these a month apart, so you have the time to really make sure it's good. And I really enjoyed it. I think was the point I was getting to, is when we played, we really enjoyed it. It was some of the most fun that we've had, just playing together, me and those guys. I mean, we met like 2 days before the tournament, and we just all gelled really well. We had an absolutely great time, and I now still know one of them, still know two of them really well, and I play with one of them a fair bit, Jolly. And yeah, it's just a fantastic time.
Jolly. He's a great guy.
And it was competitive. We ran into, I think, in that 2 tournament teams out of the 8 games we played. We did only get through 8. We'll try and do better this time. But yeah, we only got through with 2 tournament teams. I think I don't know if it was him, streamer unknown. Somebody had his tag at least in, or a very similar tag to him. I don't know if he actually played in it, or if he was just streaming it, but potentially we played against him and it was competitive. That was a sweaty game, and that's what I really liked. You still have that competitive feel, you still have the enjoyment factor, and it's fun just playing Demolition for 3 hours, isn't it? It's like, what more do we want as gamers than to play the games we love playing for a good amount of time with people we like, and maybe get some money out of it at the end if you really frag out. I said I absolutely love Rogue Bowl. It's why I think we got in touch so much. You saw some of my videos, and that's sort of how that relationship bloomed from there. And I wouldn't support Rogue Bowl if I wasn't so hyped about it, And I'm definitely looking forward to this one. So looking forward to this one.
Appreciate that.
If you don't,
I think.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
I think people just like playing and submitting their score, see where they stack up against other people.
Exactly. I mean,
it's just fun.
100%. And if you guys want to get into Rogue Bowl, Whooped said it, but www.mariogaming.com. Links will all be in the description below for everything you need. Go check it out. Saturday the 19th of September, 1 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. Definitely go check it out. My highest recommendation on that one.
All platforms welcome.
Yep.
Free to enter.
Yeah.
Always free.
Yes, always free, which is fantastic. Is that gonna stay? Do you think when we move into customs? Do you think it'll still be free to enter? Because
So, I'm not giving anything away, but the Rogue Bowl, the monthly Rogue Bowl, will always be free.
Okay, cool, awesome. So
Let's just put it that way.
There you go, put that out there. And then I definitely think that it's interesting. It's nice, like it's cool to hear that you're potentially looking at some partnerships as well, and seeing sort of where that takes Rogue Bowl. I do think community-wise, unless Hi-Res themselves put on tournaments, which after Realm you said might be a bit of an issue, is definitely the biggest community tournament out there at the moment, and should see just exponential growth in that. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes and just participating in these tournaments. Okay, man, that's probably going to take us to the end of the interview. Thank you so much for hanging around. I'll give you a chance now just to plug some of your different social media so people can find you and the really good content you do. If you want to just let them know where to find you.
Yeah, sure. First, I want you to like this video, subscribe to this channel.
Thank you so much.
And after you've done that, if you're feeling cheeky, you can find me at youtube.com/IWhooped and trovo.live/IWhooped. So Trovo's a new platform. It's awesome. Go check it out. And check me out first, but only after you like this video and subscribe to this channel.
Well, I appreciate that. And guys, he's my teammate for a reason. I absolutely love his content. Absolutely love playing with him. Go check him out as well. A big thank you for Whoops coming out. We will all be streaming the Rogue Bowl tournament when it drops on the 19th of September. So make sure you come check out our links to see that live. It's now a time of week where I go through the #RogueCast and #RogueReplay sections on Twitter to find the best clips. And this one I like. It kind of brings into play one of the tips I've given you throughout some of my videos and comes from the person who actually won the very first Strikeout Sunday tournament. Let's have a look. This clip comes from Paradox. He is a Demon main and shows us just how you can stay off the bomb site and still be able to control it. One of my big tips for defending. You see him cock a grenade here. Can he get it around that wall? He does, bounced off the wall, and he gets a double kill with it. He's now going to watch his flank as he sees the Talon C4. He kills him, gets him down there. Now he's moving back. Just got to find that Lancer. Sees him from the same spot. She's moving down. Easy kill with the K30, and that will secure the win for his team. A nice solo 1v4, staying off the bomb site. If when you go onto a bomb site, you can be pretty exposed, so staying off it occasionally is always the way. Okay guys, that's going to take us to the end of the RogueCast. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also find on this channel more content from me, mainly focusing around guides, educational content, and some competitive gameplays. I also stream on twitch.tv/radthargaming, and as of the weekend that this podcast drops, I will be doing quite a big stream across both days, so make sure you come check that out. It's probably live at the end of this video. Check the description for any links or information that you might need, but for now guys, have a great day, and remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless. And I'll see you in the next video.